Hi, this is Steve Leone. We're at Intersolar 2012 in San Francisco. And I have here with me David Eppinger, Vice President with Fluor. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Pleasure to be here.
Okay, well, Fluor is literally one of those companies that's helping build the solar industry, as in, EPC from that perspective. And what you're doing is very large scale. Everything from polysilicon plant that you have built in China for LDK to 125 megawatt project in Arizona that you're working towards right now. It's clear you're looking to large scale. Let's just start out. How do you define large scale, and what is the large scale market?
It's a good question. Obviously, our skills as a company in doing large-scale projects fits bigger projects, but really we'll build projects from 30 megawatts and larger. I would say we'd probably characterize large-scale in the 50 to 150 megawatt range and above that, and anywhere in between.
Okay, so what's going to be the challenge in terms of getting more of these projects that are in development now and actually building them? Well,
first you've got to be very competitive in your cost structure. And you have to bring certainty to these projects, because most of our clients are independent private developers of these projects, and they want certainty on price, so we're looking at fixed pricing, and they want guaranteed schedules and guaranteed output of the facility. And that includes the initial output when the facility is completed, and then an output guarantee over some initial period of operation. So bringing that certainty is something that we do well as a company, and is one of the challenges that we face. But to be really competitive in the industry, you have to look at all your sourcing options around the world, and we have a very large global sourcing capability within Fluor. You have to look at the logistics of the project, so we're not doubly handling equipment. We're also looking at self-performing quite a bit of the work in the field so that we're able to control the outcome of the facility and keep costs down and really get the repetitive cycle of installing panels as cost effective as we possibly can be. So you have to package that all together to be competitive as well as deliver the certainty that I was talking about.
Okay, well, that's great. Let's talk about where the markets are headed. It seems to be a lot of going to where the subsidies are or where the new markets may emerge. What are some of the markets that your company is looking at, and as the markets in 2013 to beyond?
Well, we're very committed to this market. We've been involved in solar, as you mentioned, for many years now, from the polysilicon facilities to the panel facilities, and now what I'll call the utility scale generating plants. Most of our activity has been in the U.S. Of course, the stimulus bill was a key instrument in getting that market moving to a large-scale generating base. But we've also been active in Europe. We've built and been involved in CSP projects in Spain and a few other locations. We're currently actively pursuing IPP projects in South Africa, where the renewable program is currently being implemented. And we tend to go to places where Fluor has a strong existing capability, both to execute projects as well as doing business in those countries. So for us, Europe, South Africa, the U.S. are logical places to work. But we are constantly evaluating markets and where they might emerge. We think the Middle East is a good opportunity and are keeping our eye on opportunities and developments there. We're also pursuing a few things in South America, particularly in Chile, where you have a good solar resource in place and it's helping to drive the market. But countries have to drive this through their own programs, how they want to diversify their energy supply, how they view renewables, and how they view energy security. So all those things come into play as to developing markets.
Okay, and you've certainly been involved in CSP, concentrating solar power, in the past. Is that something you're still looking toward actively in the short term, or is that something that the panel prices have just dropped too far and are just too good of a deal to turn away from?
Well, we're currently completing 3 projects in Spain, CSP projects. Unfortunately, with the tariff situation, no new projects are coming in the pipeline there. We're also working on a large 250 megawatt CSP project in the U.S. But again, because of where pricing has gone, and it seems that low capital cost is paramount, that's driving the market towards PV. But we have excellent capabilities to do CSP projects. We know a lot about designing the bottoming cycles, and we do think there is an application for it, but the customers have to value that power, the consistency of power and the power that's generated on the shoulder periods of the day. So we're hoping that, that the market isn't going to disappear, that CSP will exist where it makes sense.
Is cogeneration